All right, hello, Pam Bam. Have you ever felt like your marketing isn't delivering the results you hope for? Maybe you're making one of the biggest marketing mistakes without even realizing it. But don't worry, that's why you're here today. Welcome to Talking Business with Ritz, the show that humanizes entrepreneurship by showcasing the human behind the title before the offer. So if you're ready to fix your marketing, right, grow your business and avoid costly mistakes, you're in the right place. So don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, right? And stay tuned. And our guest today is sharing these strategies that you don't want to miss. All right. Hello, Bam Bam. I'm your host, Ritz Director, and welcome to our live expert interview where we uncover the stories, lessons, and strategies behind successful entrepreneurs. Now, today's episode is a big one, all right? Three biggest marketing mistakes business owners make and how to avoid them. So, our expert guest will share her journey, her wisdom, and these practical strategies you can start applying right away. Okay, but before we start, here we go. Okay, so before we get into the strategies, let's uncover the story that shaped her passion and success. On we go for segment number one. All right. So we are now in the Know the Expert segment. And of course, let me just add her on stage, okay, while I introduce her. All right. I'm thrilled to welcome Sophie Zollmann, owner and CEO of SophieZo, Next Level Business Support. With over 20 years of experience, Sophie has helped countless entrepreneurs fix their marketing and achieve measurable, repeatable results. So she's here to help us do the same. So let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Sophie Zollmann to the show. Hi, Sophie. It's great to have you here.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here to share my story, to share my knowledge, see how I can help your listeners and your audience do better in their marketing.
All right. How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's a good Saturday morning. It's a little chilly here, but not too bad. It's sunny, so that keeps you going in that cold weather of winter that is quickly coming to Nashville, even though it's in the south. We seem to be having a little early winter this time of day, this time of the month.
Wow. Wish I could just shift there. It's very hot here in Malaysia. All right. Now let's find out what drives Sophie's passion for my F and my P. Okay. Sophie's passion for marketing and her dedication to helping entrepreneurs avoid costly mistakes. Now let's discover her story. So let's start with the first question. Here we go, Sophie. So let's start with who is Sophie Zollmann as a person?
So Sophie Zollmann, the person, is an 80s pop Stevie Nicks witchy woo woo woman, Harry Potter nerd, poker player, and beach lover, and also grandmother of a wild and crazy 3-year-old grandson.
Wow, must be exciting around your house.
It is. When he is over, it is go, go, go. Or when we're over there babysitting him, it is go, go, go. Unless he's eating or sleeping, we are on the go. He
Wow.
is just full of energy and so much fun to hang out with. He is he's that outside, inner child experience and energizer, and then sleep like a log.
Oh, wow.
After kind of kid. Between him and my Harry Potter passion, I stay young at heart for sure.
For sure, yes. So what inspired you to focus on, helping entrepreneurs with marketing and business goals?
So over a little over 20 years ago, I was a stay-at-home mom who needed to make money for the family and not have it all go to daycare. So way back then, I got into the online space, and I got a remote job long before that was a thing, long before COVID. And I started out as a virtual customer service representative for an e-commerce company based in New York. And I was actually living in Virginia at the time. And I worked for him for 4 years, or a little over 4 years, helped him grow his business to 500,000 a year. And by then I was pretty much running the entire company, but I was doing it for a whopping $12 an hour.
Wow.
And that back then was pittance of pay to be a business manager. So in my burnout, my overwhelm, and my stress, I decided to leave him and go back to being a stay-at-home mom. But then things in the house broke. We had to fix things. We had to dip into our nest egg to fix the house and fix things that were breaking. So I had to go back to work, and I knew I did not want to do the e-commerce thing. So I gave transcription a shot and found a company that would take me on, train me, and I did transcription. And that is where I found my ideal entrepreneurs, my ideal clients, my passion for doing what I do now. I was transcribing their teleseminars, and I loved what they were doing and who they were and what they were providing, the impact they were having. And I was like, I want to be a virtual assistant for them. So I launched myself again into the online space. I got onto Twitter and Facebook, and I lived on social media almost literally for 6 months, getting to know people, sharing my expertise, having conversations, connecting, and building relationships. And 6 months later, I had other virtual assistants hiring me as a subcontractor. And that's when I knew I needed a business, because I was still a freelancer. So in October of 2009, my business was born. And back then it was SophieZo, virtually there for you. It was how I started out, as a kind of a jack of all trades virtual assistants company. Yeah. We did marketing, we did, executive assistants, we did tech work, we did all the virtual assistants skills. And I even built a team at that time to help me do things that I didn't know how to do, to be able to serve more people and be able to provide more services in one place.
Yeah. That's very interesting to know. So what's one powerful lesson you learned early on that still guides you today?
Well, over the years, when I first got started as a business in 2009, opportunities would arrive that I had said I did not want to do, because I sat down, when you start a business and it's like, well, I'm going to do these services and not these services. And I'm going to help these people and not these people. And I'm going to do this and I'm not going to do that. Well, I found that opportunities were dropping in my lap. Things that I said I wasn't going to do or didn't want to do were just dropping in my lap. Like the universe was saying, hey, yes, you are going to do this. This is your thing. And a lot of it had to do with marketing. And so in the early years, I was, very fluid with what we offered, what we did, hiring team, working for different people. And then, in 2018, I was in the process of building a 6-figure business by then. And an opportunity arose in 2018 to go exclusive with a longtime client who was going to pay me 6 figures to do it. And I thought, oh, hallelujah, I've made it to 6 figures. I'm finally there. 9 years later, I made it. And I was totally ignoring my intuition, the feelings in my gut that I was getting, going, I'm not sure this is a good idea, but I was excited. I was like, nope, this is it. I've made 6 figures. I'm going to do it. Well, fortunately, my intuition was right, because by the end of that year, I started feeling like I needed more and I wanted more. And I was like, this is going to be just very static, and I don't want to be static. I want to do more. So I intuitively created a side hustle, so to speak, a second leg of the business, a digital marketing agency, because that was the bread and butter of my business. That's how I got to my 6 figures. That's how I grew my business. Social media and online marketing was my thing. So, and I knew I could do that if I built a team and had the team do the work. And I was just like the head of the branch, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, I soft launched that at the end of 2018, and less than 2 weeks later, that company that I went exclusive with let me go. I literally lost it all. and had nothing except the beginnings of a digital marketing agency. But that digital marketing agency and my perseverance and the support I got from my husband and my coach and mentor at the time were the things that really catapulted me into not only six figures, but multiple six figures and beyond, and has evolved and changed even more to where I rebranded to what we are today, SophieZo Next Level Business Support. And
Yeah.
we are a full digital marketing team, kind of like a fractional marketing department, to be honest. We are the whole department from marketing, the director of marketing, the strategy, the implementation, the metrics, all the things that go into successful marketing, we provide in one place as an entire dedicated team to our clients. And that is
Wow.
that lesson of, don't put your eggs in one basket. Listen to your intuition as a part of your decision-making process. And definitely when you fall flat on your face, don't give up. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, surround yourself with the people who believe in you and support you and cheer you on, and go again, because you can go. I have built something so much better, bigger, better, and so more. I love so much more than anything I have done in the past. It was really an eye-opening and a blessing.
Mhm.
Even though it was devastating in the moment, it turned out to be the best thing that could happen to me, because it taught me resilience. It taught me that I have everything I need to succeed thanks to my coach and my husband and the people around me. I was able to start again and do what I wanted, what I was passionate about, what I love doing. And I have created this amazing business, amazing team of people that I love to work with. And I work with some really pretty amazing clients too. And I love it.
Right, right. Really is pivoting to something else when everything, seems so bleak is absolutely necessary for you, for any entrepreneurs who would want to succeed in this space.
Absolutely. Failure is a part of success. It really is. And even if it's not complete failure like I did, we make mistakes, we make decisions, and we try things that don't work out. But that doesn't mean we need to quit and give up. It just means we
Exactly.
need to rethink it, and approach it in a different way, and find different ways to do things to get to where we want to go. Because if you're passionate about what you're doing and you love what you're doing, you can make it work. You just have to keep going, and you have to keep trying and find until you find the way that works for you. Because finding your way and doing it the way that works for you is the most successful way to approach business, because all these cookie cutter things that are out there these days just
Mm,
don't work. I mean, you got to do what is passionate to you, what works for you, and what resonates with you and your ideal clients. Because if you're just putting out cookie cutter stuff that thousands of other people are also putting out, what makes you different and what makes you unique and what can you provide that others can't? It's about being unique. It's about being yourself and doing what you're passionate about and doing it your way, so that you can help others in a unique and different way than everybody else can.
exactly. Exactly. Right. So, all right, Sophie, before we get into the deep stuff, right, let us have a little fun with lightning round of questions. So, these are quick, light, and just for fun. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Okay, here we go. What's one word your friends would use to describe you?
Outgoing.
All right. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Favorite business book?
Right now, my favorite business book is The Gap and the Gain by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Brady, I think is his name. I always forget his name. But The Gap and the
Okay, okay.
Gain is
Gap in
my
the
favorite
game.
business book right now.
All right. Interesting. All right. Cats or dogs?
I kind of like both, but when I have to really choose, it's dogs. I'm a dog person through and through.
All right. A quote you live by?
A code I live by:
Yeah.
ease and grace, time and space. Do everything with ease and grace and time and space.
All right. Early bird or night owl?
I'm both, actually. If I go to bed at a decent hour, I'm an early bird. But if I want to stay up late and be a night owl, I can do that too.
Oh.
I didn't used to be an early bird at all, but now I've been able to switch. If I want to be up late, I can. But if I want to be an early bird, I can do that too. It's kind of weird. I think it's a part of aging, to be honest.
Okay. All right. Most used emoji.
Oh my goodness. Probably I would have to say rolling on the floor laughing one, because I'm always cracking up with people, and when we're having fun, I am popping that emoji in there probably more than anything else.
All right. Okay. Now, what's your favorite way to unwind after a long day?
Ooh, gosh. Well, one of my favorite ways was I'm a foodie and a craft cocktail kind of gal. So a lot of times I will have a cocktail or a good glass of wine, and then I will actually play some games on my iPad or on my computer. I'm not a gamer, but there are a couple of games that I'm a part of, and I play them because they're alliance based, they're group based, and it's a way to hang out with people that are not people I work with. They're not my clients. They're not my team. They're people all over the world that I can hang out with and have fun with. So I'll have a glass of wine or a cocktail, and I'll hang out with my gamer friends on these two games that I do, and I will unwind and enjoy myself that way.
Would you like to share what games is that? Oh, I'm so interested.
Okay. Well, the one game, which is it's actually technically discontinued. You can still get it on iPad and iPhone. It's just not on Android anymore, but it's called King's Legion. And
Oh,
then the other one is Land of Empires. And those are the two games I play. They're mobile games only.
yeah.
And I play them either on my phone or on my iPad. And but yeah, and I've met a lot of people. I got invited into these alliances through, hanging out on the game and being conversational and connecting, kind of like I do social media. It's kind of like social
Yeah.
media. I hang out, I talk to people, I get to know them, and then we become friends. And we have this real, both of the alliances I'm in are more family like. We're not out there to kick butt, kill everybody, and win all the things. We're there to have a good time, to enjoy each other's company, to get to know each other worldwide, and we have a lot of fun doing it.
Oh, interesting. All right. Now, on a what do you call that? Serious note.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say you are talking to your younger self right now. What advice would you give your younger self?
Don't go to college and get a poli-sci degree. Go to
What
college and do
is
something else, but not political science, international studies. College is
cracking
fun,
me
just don't get that degree. Quite honestly, if I had college to do all over again with what I know, I would tell my younger self. I probably would have told my younger self to go to college and get a degree in, crime scene investigation. I'm a huge fan of the crime scene investigation television shows, the crime shows, FBI, all those things.
Yeah.
If I had known that the CSI, job, world existed, I probably would have gone to college to be a CSI instead of the ambassador to Russia, which I never became because, well, I just didn't end up being a thing.
All right. Okay. So that was the last question. That was awesome. That was awesome. All right. Thank you for sharing, Sophie. I love learning these fun little things about our guests. So, did you have fun?
Oh, yes, this is a blast. I'm really enjoying myself. I love these kinds of really fun, casual interviews. They're so much fun.
All right. Now, let's get into why our dear Sophie is here today. But before that, bam, like and share this video and subscribe to the channel as well. All right. Now that we've uncovered the personal side, right? And Sophie's inspiring journey. It's time to tap into her expertise, and she's about to share important strategies to avoid costly marketing mistakes and create plan that works. So Stay tuned for the next segment. All right, welcome back. Amazing Fambams. We are now in the Learn from the Expert segment. So, what are the biggest marketing mistakes business owner makes and how can we avoid them? So, let's learn from our expert. All right, let me just flash our topic for today. Three biggest marketing mistakes business owners make and how to avoid them. I'm going to guide our dear Sophie here series of questions so that we can answer this, this topic. All right, we can talk about all these topics. Now, first question: what's the most common marketing mistakes you see business owner makes?
The biggest one they make is what I call throwing spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks. They are just doing whatever floats their boat, whatever new trend is out there, whatever they think they should be doing, instead of having a very well-defined, well-researched, data-based, and analysis-based strategy that has very specific measurable goals and has then it becomes their marketing plan for implementing it very strategically and very specifically month after month so that they can figure out what works. Because when you're just flying by the seat of your pants, even if you do get results, you don't know where they came from. So you can't maximize that and repeat that and make it that a sustainable strategy to do. That's why you do the deep dive, you do your homework, and you figure out the strategy before you do the monthly marketing plan so that you can create initiatives and campaigns that you can monitor and track to figure out what works, because that is the key. You got to figure out what works for who you are, what you do, what you offer, and most importantly, for your ideal clients and who they are and where they are in that online world.
Yeah, understand that, and it takes patience to do that because some of the clients actually they're so impatient, like, oh, why it didn't work 1 month, just 1 month of data, why it didn't work, I'm supposed to do this, supposed to do that. I've talked to some clients as well, just 1 week they're expecting something like
Oh, yes.
100%. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Overnight success is not a thing.
Yes.
Instant gratification when it comes to marketing especially is not a thing. There is way too much going on in today's online marketing world for anything to work instantly, overnight, or even in most cases, it takes, minimum 3 months, sometimes 6 months for something to work, depending upon the strategy, the campaign, and and in 100% transparency, how much money the business owner has to spend on their marketing, because marketing is not cheap anymore. You can't go buy a $500 $500 a month social media manager and expect to make, 6, 7, 8 figures with just a $500 a month social media manager. Not going to happen.
Yes. So why do you think many entrepreneurs fall into this trap, and how can they avoid this one?
Well, the biggest thing is in most cases, they're trying to do the marketing themselves. They're in business for their passion, whatever that is, whether they're a coach, consultant, a lawyer, a service provider, health and wellness, practitioner. That is their passion. That's what they're good at. And they're trying to wear the marketing hat. They're trying to be the marketing guru that they're not. And they're trying to conserve money. They're trying to do it all themselves. And they quickly learn that they are not a marketing expert, and they don't know a lot of the tech and the strategies that go with doing, solid marketing. And they usually hate it too. That is one of the biggest mistakes they make. And so they don't like doing it. So they're just doing they're doing whatever they can and whatever they feel like, whatever they can motivate themselves to do, hence no strategy. And they don't like doing it. And that is, you can tell in the content they're putting out, how they show up, what they're saying, how they're saying it, in the images they use. Even if they're doing video, you can tell, because even on, online marketing, the words you write, the words you speak on a video, something, or an interview like this, people can read into that. There is energy behind it. There is tone, there's tone, especially in an interview or a video like this, where, if someone is just sitting here going, yeah, I am Dr. So-and-so, and I like, okay, wow,
I
boring.
know, right?
I really hate this interview. I hate being on a video. I don't want to. I mean, it comes through, and it really is your
Yes.
marketing. You can't get results. You can't get followers. You can't get clients if you're doing it from a space of, oh my gosh, here we go again. Another video I got to do. It just doesn't work. So you have to delegate your marketing. You have to get strategy. You have to have a plan, and you need to get marketing experts who love to do the marketing to do it for you.
Right, right. And trying to do everything at once can definitely lead to burnout.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that shows through in your marketing too. When you're overwhelmed and stressed and just frazzled, I mean, it's another piece of the puzzle that comes through when you're trying to do it yourself.
All right. Now, I know you've mentioned about throwing spaghetti on the wall. Can you expound more on this one?
Yes. So that comes from chefs. One of my sisters is a chef. And
Mhm.
when she came home from chef school one time and cooked dinner for the family and made pasta, and she literally pulled the pasta out of the pot and threw it against the wall, because
Right.
they determine if spaghetti or pasta is done by throwing it against the wall. If it sticks, it's done. Of course, my mother was freaking out that my sister was throwing pasta at the wall. But it's the same analogy. If you're throwing different things out on social media, on YouTube, on your blog, and you have no rhyme or reason to what you're doing, you're trying to figure out what sticks, what works. So by just doing, that's random, that's unplanned, it's not strategic, and it's not going to work because you can't figure out what works, even if you get results. So instead of throwing spaghetti, you have to actually back away from the stove, and you have to think about the recipe and do it strategically and step by step, not just, because there's a lot of chefs out there that don't measure, that do wing it. And for chefing, that can be okay. But when it comes to marketing, that is so not okay. You have to be strategic. You have to plan. You have to know what you're doing and how it's going to be measured to see if you can get results from it. Because once you get results, then you can start expanding on it and doing more of it and getting more results. And it's like that snowball that gets bigger and bigger, because once you find what works and you continue to work with it and maximize it and make it even better, it just gets better over time, and you become more and more successful, and you're not frazzled. You're not, trying to figure out what the heck you're doing anymore. You're not throwing spaghetti anymore. You've got a plan, you've
Right.
got a strategy, and you're doing it again and again with the different initiatives that you do in your marketing.
Right, right. Very interesting. Now, circling back to these mistakes and to drive the lesson home, right? So, what's the impact of these mistakes on their business growth?
Well, when you're throwing spaghetti against the wall and when you're doing it yourself, you're not consistent, and consistency is huge in the online marketing world. You're not consistent. You're not putting out content and whatnot that's going to resonate with your ideal client. And you may even be in places where they're not even at. So you're wasting time and money trying to be on, maybe, like on TikTok, and your people aren't there. If your
Yeah.
audience, if your ideal clients aren't on a platform, there is no need to be there. And that's a part of the throwing spaghetti thing, is they think they have to be everywhere. So they're on all the platforms, they're blogging, they're video, they're doing everything, and everything is so haphazard with no rhyme, no reason, that it just looks like they're almost crazy because they're not consistent. They're not producing a message that is unique, that stands out, that speaks directly to their ideal clients and gets them interested in who they are and what they do. So it makes for, wasted time, energy, and money on marketing things that aren't going to work, that aren't going to bring their return on investment, those clients, that revenue from the product or service they sell.
Right. Wow. It's so true how those, little inefficiencies add up to a much bigger problem later on. So, in terms of the in terms of the what do you call that, the clients, right? Or your clients, how would you know where they are if you don't try, right? And look for them, like for example, which platform and all that stuff. Now, there are a lot of clients that say, I want to be omni-channel, right? What can you say about that?
Well, it's okay to be on one social media channel, one platform, if that's where your ideal clients are. You have to do the research. You have to do the deep dive analysis of your industry, of your business, your offers, and your ideal clients. You have to know who they are. And it goes way beyond, demographics. It's not
Mm-hmm.
just about knowing that they're 35 to 50, they're female, they're married, they live in a house, and they have 3 kids, and their revenue level is $250,000 a year. You have to know the psychographics. You have to get into their head and know what they like, what their aspirations are, what their challenges are, their pain points, their goals, their dreams, and what makes them tick. And because that is how you figure out where to find them, because you're going to know what they're interested in, what their mentality is like, where they have fun, all those different things. So then you can go to the different platforms and look at the back end, so to speak, and see the statistics on what kind of people are hanging out on Facebook, on Instagram, what people like blogs, what people go to Google and search. And now with AI, who's going to, ChatGPT to search? Who's, you've got to factor in all the things of where they are for every aspect, because you also have to have a well-rounded marketing strategy. It's not just about doing one thing. There is no one thing in marketing, meaning one platform or one form of marketing that will be the only thing that works for you. It takes so much more. It takes SEO, it takes social media, it takes content marketing, in a lot of cases video marketing, whether it's
Indeed,
YouTube,
yes.
Reels, etc. It is a combination of things that all feed each other, and you have to do your research. That's where the strategy and the plan comes in, is doing that deep dive into all the aspects of figuring out who your ideal audience is, where they're at, and how they want to be approached, how they want to be spoken to, or what they want to read, the different things that, so you can speak to them and they actually, they think you're talking to them. They can be reading a blog post, or they can be watching a reel and go, that
Mm,
is so me.
indeed,
They
indeed.
just like, it's like, oh my gosh, they just read my heart, or they just read my mind. That's exactly what I'm going through. And they can fix that. They can help me with that. Oh my gosh. And that's what gets them in to start following you, to start watching more, to sign up for your free offers, and eventually become your client, because they're going to know, like, and trust you through those avenues over time as you speak to them from their perspective instead of your own, because it's not about you, it's about them.
Yes, true. And each platform have their own strategy in itself, right?
Absolutely. Every strategy is different. The audiences are different. I mean, some people can find their people everywhere, but they're not there. They're not necessarily everywhere because they're looking for that type of service or product. Some people are on TikTok for fun. Some people are on Instagram for fun, or to find recipes, or to do things that are not related to what they're looking for from a service provider, or, someone who's providing products that they might
Mm,
need. They're there to have fun, or they might even be there because their family is there, and that's where they share family photos and family get-togethers, and
exactly.
keep in touch with family. If they're there to keep in touch with family, they're most likely not going to be looking for your posts about who you are and what you do. They're going to be doing that somewhere else where they will think they can get that from.
Exactly. Absolutely, Sophie. So those are such practical insights. So let's now turn to the audience and answer some of their pressing questions. So it's time for our Q&A segment. Here we go. All right. So welcome, Pam once again. And here are the questions I have gathered. Oh, where are they? Here we go. Let's go for question number one. So, what What's the easiest way to start tracking metrics if I've never done it before?
Well, Google Analytics is what is your best friend, because Google Analytics tracks everything. It tracks social media, it tracks organic, it tracks search. Google Analytics is one of the best places to start for tracking your data and tracking metrics. Because even if you go to each social media platform, finding
Mhm.
where those insights are, where those metrics are, and what they're tracking can be a little bit hard to do, and it can be a little bit you know it's not as informative as Google Analytics is. And then there's tools you can use, such as Dash This. It's a place where you can pull all of your platforms in to get the metrics in a report. And that's when you've got a really extensive marketing plan and strategy. That's your second step. Start with Google Analytics, because Google Analytics can tell you a whole lot about your marketing and your results you're getting as a starting point. And that's where you can pick different initiatives from there and expand on it, and then eventually get into where you're tracking all your metrics in something like a Dash This dashboard. Or, some people use different Google, I think it's called Google Studio or something like that. They build their
Mhm.
dashboards of results there. Your individual platforms will usually have statistics and metrics in it that you can check too. If you have a CRM for your email campaigns, you can check things in there. Start small and just look at a couple of details. Don't worry about every single metric that's available to you. Pick a
Mhm.
few and just look at them, like traffic to your website, the source of the traffic, how many people are opening your emails, things like that. Don't worry about the nitty gritty and every single detail that's in there, because that will be crazy, overwhelming, and even scary to some people. Start small, start with Google Analytics, and just look at a couple of things. Start there.
Right, right. And it would be nice if every likes and every hearts converts to to a sale, right?
Yes, the vanity metrics are not really the metrics to be watching. I will tell you that. You could have a million followers, but if 90% of them are not your ideal clients, they're useless. And they can like
Right.
your stuff all they want, but it's not going to get you sales. It's not going to get you clients, because they are not your target audience. They're just there hanging out because, you wanted followers.
Exactly. All right. Now, next question. How do I find out who my ideal client really is?
If you're already in business and you already have clients, the best way to find your ideal client is to look at the clients you already have, your best clients, your favorite clients, the ones you really love working with, and sitting down and having a conversation with them. Find out who they are, what they like, what they do, in their spare time. Get their demographics and psychographics as your ideal client. Now, if you don't have a lot of clients, or you're not in a space where you have a whole bunch of clients that you can draw from, you can do research. You can figure out, you can do things with ChatGPT, with AI, with Google. You can also think about what your offer is and who you want to work with, because it's also about who you want to work with. So even if you're just starting out, is who do you want to work with? Do you want to work with women, men, this age, that age, people who like to play golf, people who watch crime shows like me? Think
Mhm.
about the people who need your service, need your product, and what they're like as a human being, as a person. Because then once you know the demographics and psychographics, you create personas and avatars. You give them a name, you give them a life, you give them a job, you give them a picture, you make them into an imaginary human being, so to speak, because that way you can truly relate to them person to person and create a marketing strategy, content, and find the platforms they're on, because them like they're someone you've met and had conversations with and hung out with.
Right. And if I'm on a tight budget, right, where should I focus my marketing effort first?
Well, the first thing is to find one place where your ideal client is, whether that is a social media platform, whether they are bloggers, whether they're video watchers, so YouTube, that kind of a thing. Find one platform where your ideal client is, and put all your time, effort, and money into a strategy and a plan there to really focus on marketing in that one place and really get good at it, get successful at it, because then you're going to start generating the revenue to expand your marketing to other platforms where your clients can be.
Right. And how often should I review this marketing strategy?
Well, you should be looking at your stats and your metrics at least monthly. In the beginning, you might want to look weekly, but you certainly don't want to be over obsessive and look daily. That will drive you crazy. You'll be like, oh, wait, today I got 50, opens on my email. And then tomorrow, oh, only 10 people open. You'll drive yourself crazy. Don't do that. But, every 30 days, you need to look at your statistics. You need to see what's working and what's working at least every 30 days. And then you need to give it at least 90 days overall and look at the last 90 days before you make any shifts, unless you see something in a 30-day period that was consistent, like every day for 30 days, your email opens declined. Okay, well, you need to look at that and figure out what's going on with your content that made them stop opening your emails, things like that. But generally speaking, you're looking at your stats every 30 days, and then you're looking in 90-day chunks to figure out if you need to shift anything, or if you found something that is like golden, that's working. You're like, ooh, over the last 90 days on social media, on Facebook, I was getting consistent engagement, visibility, questions and comments, inquiries. So that's working. What I'm doing there, what am I doing there? And how can I continue to do that and maximize it and do more of it? And then you can shift your next 90 days of marketing plan into more focused there, because you're starting to figure out what works.
Right. So for those clients, right, who are doing this sort of like a campaign, don't stop for 1 month, 2 months. Don't just stop if nothing is working, because those are still data, right? Those are still data that you can analyze and see whether what Sophie had said, which part of it you can make more or you can do more, and you can tweak, right?
Yes.
Okay, now I know this had been asked earlier, but if you can have another take on this one, what's one thing I can do today to make my marketing more effective?
You can take the time to look at your metrics. Even if you've been throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks, it doesn't matter. If you can go into Google Analytics or into your social platforms or your CRM and look at the data, look at the metrics and find one thing that did really well, whatever that was. If there was an email that got more opens and clicks than any other email, go look at that. Figure out what was the content, what was the purpose, and figure out if there's a way you can take that one thing and expand it into other emails, into your social media, into your blog. Because when you start finding the thing that works, whether it's a topic, a picture, a video, you can take that piece of content and expand upon it and do more with it and make different offshoots, so to speak. You can, it's one topic that you can break down into other mini topics, that you can explore other avenues, other options around it, and continue to work on that one thing that worked at least a little bit and see if you can make it work more. Because starting small is the biggest thing you can do, honestly, is find one little thing that worked really well that you can expand on and continue to try to play with. And make your marketing more effective by finding one or two things that look like they're working and focus on those instead of 50 things in general.
Right. And then you can do repurposing, right?
Absolutely. 100%.
So is it better to outsource marketing or keep it in-house if I don't love doing it? That's a bonus question. I have a lot more questions.
If you don't like marketing and you're not good at it, and you need to be focused on the things that get you clients, that make your client, keep your clients happy, those kinds of things, delivering your services, your product, whatever, it's always best to outsource it. Now, whether you do it in-house and have employees or outsource it to contractors, is more a decision on where you are revenue wise and whether or not you have a brick and mortar business, because even brick and mortar businesses can outsource certain aspects of their business, whether it's marketing, HR, the different things. A lot of it depends on, you got to look at your overhead. You got to look at the cost of having it in-house as opposed to having a contracted person or team, because there's different costs involved. And a lot of times, especially where marketing is concerned, having an outside team is more cost effective and more strategic, and it's more effective and it works better than trying to hire a marketing team one by one in-house. Because if you don't really know who to hire and how to build that team and how to bring them in-house and let them do their thing, you're going to end up struggling to have successful marketing, and you may put together a team that really doesn't work well. Whereas, there are, when you're contracting an agency or a fractional marketing team like mine, we all have a vast many years of experience with different industries, different types of marketing, all those different things. So it'll be faster and more effective to bring someone like us in than it is to try to put together a team one by one, because the hiring process can take forever, and you still, you have to bring them on and train them and all those different things. Whereas when you're working with a company that does fractional marketing services, you tend to get a better result, and it's more cost effective in the long run too.
Right. Thank you for that. Now we have more questions, but in the interest of time, we'll wrap up our Q&A here. So your insights, Sophie, have been really incredible, and thank you for that.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to share.
All right, now let's talk about how our viewers can work with you to take whatever they learned today to the next level. And we are now going to the next segment. All right, welcome back. Fantastic fandoms. We are now in the work with the expert segment. And remember to like, subscribe, and comment if you want to keep up with these insights like this one. And Sophie, thank you for answering all those questions. It's clear your expertise can help so many entrepreneurs. I know I have repetitive questions, but I want to drive your expertise out and the lessons that you're giving out, because it's very dear to me. I am also a social media specialist and content creator, creation. I do that. But, of course, just like you in your beginning, we have issues with clients who don't understand what's going on with marketing, and we have to know. We are the expert. We are the specialists. So listen to us, right?
Right. We're the experts. We're the ones. We're the guru. I'm not a guru. I will never ever call myself a guru.
Yeah, true.
No matter how long I've been doing it, how good at it, whatever the case may be. But I am an expert. I hire experts on my team, and together we can really support a company, a business, an entrepreneur would get success and results out of the marketing. And it starts with strategy. The entry point into working with us starts with us doing a deep dive custom marketing strategy and done for you monthly marketing plan to be able to really figure out what you need to do, what we can do for you to get you on the right path to marketing success. And that first step, as of right now, this is, December 2024, you're at the end of a year where this is the perfect time to set yourself up for marketing success in 2025. And for people in the United States, especially, it's a tax write-off. It's an additional tax write-off for your, tax for next year too.
Exactly.
But so we have our deep dive marketing strategy is currently $3,500. It's a one-time fee for us to do the deep dive and create the custom marketing strategy that covers all the components of marketing in the digital space, the online space. And then we will present the strategy and a done for you marketing plan. And then you will have the choice. We will quote how much it costs for us to implement this plan and strategy for you. And if that is something you want to pursue, you can then move forward with us and hire us as your fractional marketing team to do this strategy and this marketing plan. But if not, we package that all up for you in a very detailed package, and we hand it off to you to be able to take into your business to, do it yourself if you have to, if you have a team already that can implement it for you, that's great too. But the biggest thing is getting that strategy, because that is going to be the key to being able to find success in your marketing, is at least getting that strategy. And for now, it's $3,500. January 1st, it goes up to $4,500.
Wow. Now, for those watching who want to take the next step, can you share how they can work with you and your team? How can they?
Absolutely. Yes, they can go to the website, SophieZo.com, SOPHIEZ as in zebra O.com, at the bottom of the screen here. And you can sign up for a digital success session. It's a free 30-minute success session by Zoom, to where we can have a conversation. I can learn more about you. You can learn more about us. And then we can see if, the next step of doing this marketing strategy for $3,500 is a fit. And then we can take you from there and take next steps from there.
All right, that sounds incredible, Sophie. Can they? Do you have any socials where they can easily reach you aside from your website?
Absolutely. I am on Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, YouTube, and I do have a podcast on the Word of Mom Radio, Word of Mom Media Network. You can find me on my podcast as well.
All right. So you have a YouTube, SophieZo marketing expert, and you are also in LinkedIn.
Yes, I am. And then LinkedIn, I'm at my full birth name, Sophie Zollmann. Everywhere else, I'm Sophie, SophieZo, or Sophie Zollmann. And even on Instagram, I'm the SophieZo, because someone somehow got SophieZo before I did.
Oh,
I know. I was like, well, I'm the SophieZo, so there.
all right. All right. That sounds incredible, Sophie. For anyone feeling stuck or overwhelmed with marketing, this is your chance to work with a true expert who knows how to deliver results. So don't miss out. So as we wrap up, Sophie, what's one piece of advice you'd like to leave our audience?
Start today with whatever piece of strategy you can start with. Take a look at your marketing. Find one area that you think is working or that you think you can make work, and focus on it and build a strategy, build a content plan, build whatever you can into that, and try to find ways to measure results to figure out what works. Please stop throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. It's so frustrating and overwhelming, and it doesn't help you. So take the time to at least create, your own strategy, even on a small one area level, to be able to start that pattern of finding what works and then maximizing it from there.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for being generous with your insights today. Thank you for being here on the show as well.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun. And I hope that your audience got a lot out of it and they can get started getting marketing results as soon as possible.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Sophie Zollmann. All right. Coming up next in Talking Business with Ritz. All right. We will be talking about how to turn your inner blocks into outer success. Mark your calendars on December 14 at 11 a.m. Eastern. Make sure to DM your questions to be included in our Q&A segment. And make sure to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Here we go. Let me remove this. All right. Like and subscribe this video and subscribe to this channel. And come on, help us spread the word. Let's humanize entrepreneurship. All right. Now to my Fam Bam. Let me just fix this one. Okay. To my Fam Bam. Here we go. Our viewers, entrepreneurship is about more than success. So it's about people and the stories behind it. So your stories matters, and we're here to help you tell it. So if you enjoyed this episode, please, as I've said, like this episode or like this video, share it with someone who needs these tips, and subscribe to the channel. So again, thank you for tuning in today, and until next time, keep pushing forward. This is Ritz Loreto Rectra, and of course, our expert guest, Sophie Zollmann, our marketing expert. Stay safe and healthy as we continue talking business with Ritz. Bye, everybody.
Bye.